It's now time for the morning show on XL7-TV.
Good morning and welcome to the morning show on XL7-TV. I'm Bob Rectenwald. This is Scooter. Whoop, whoop, Callie.
Whoop, whoop. Can't take that away from me. Nice try, though.
I'll get it one of these days.
You can't take my whoop whoop away.
Yeah. Only because it pays well.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go with that.
How's Scooter?
I'm doing good. Doing good.
I heard you got into mowing a jungle last night.
Oh, man. Guy sent me out to a rental house, and I don't think they mowed it last year. I walked up, and literally it was chest high. And I'm like, we need a bush hog, not a mower. We got it tore down, though.
Swing blade.
Yeah. We got it whacked down. It looks good. I had to go over it 4 times, but
I have never seen so many snakes as I have this year.
We don't want to talk about snakes.
Well, that's right. You met a snake last night yourself, didn't you?
Well, it was the day before, and I was weed eating, and I was under some lumber, and I couldn't see the end of the weed eater, and I felt it bogging down on something, and I had no clue, and apparently it was a snake wrapping around it. And finally, it slung that snake, and I mean right into my lap. I dropped the weed eater. I may have said some choice words that I shouldn't have to.
Choice words? Yeah. We ran across 6 copperheads last night, and one I have never seen here before was a rattlesnake.
Really?
I've never seen. Not in that area.
Oh, okay.
We did actually see a timber rattler rattle about that long, so you can imagine how long it was.
Well, they were importing timber rattlers into the forested area and trying to bring back wolves at one time. Marion Barry was our congressman, and I was in a meeting with him, and I said, you know, all those things that could kill babies, humans kind of killed off when they first populated this area. And there were very few people here, but they killed rattlesnakes and wolves and, that kind of stuff. Now you're opening these woods up for recreation, and you're going to reintroduce all these species, and you don't expect a problem.
No.
It's like
government at its finest.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, let's go to prayer. Morning prayer is brought to you by Roller Funeral Home of Arkansas, 29 to serve you, 1 in Memphis, Tennessee. With all our respect, is not only how they do business, it's just how they will treat you. And they are some great folks there at Roller Funeral Home. Renata Jenkins Byland, her staff do a great job all across the state of Arkansas. And now the morning prayer. Father God, we just thank you for the day you've given us. And Lord, we go ahead and give thanks for this little bit of rain that you are giving us this morning. We praise you that it will not be here all day, and it's just a short bit that we're going to get. Lord, we just pray that you'll be with the people that had their vacations planned that may have had to change them due to the fact that we've got so much water in our lakes at this moment. Lord, we just thank you for everything that you do for us. Lord, as always, I'd like to pray for our firefighters, our first responders, our EMTs, our firemen, and the doctors and the nurses that are dealing with sickness at the hospital. And Lord, especially at this time of the year, the school administration, the teachers, the principals, and all the students as they wrap up another good year. Lord, we just thank you for everything that you do for us, and we give you the praise for it. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Take a quick word from Bob and Linda Zadora of the Z-Team, 870-405-0793. Be back in just a minute.
Hi, it's Bob Zadora of the Z-Team at Century 21 Lemac Realty, 1024 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. As you know, we are all facing some unusual times. Be calm. Be smart. The business world of real estate will continue. We may have some delays and some changes that are out of our control, but life will go on, and this too will pass. Give thanks for this wonderful country that we live in. Give thanks for the neighbors that we share. If there's anything we can do to give you a hand, give us a call. 870-405-0793. And check out our website, retiredtoarkansas.net.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. Let's take a look at the White River, brought to you by Bob and Linda Zadora of the Z-Team. That's a good shot this morning.
Mm-hmm. It's clearer than what I thought it would be.
Well, it's moving pretty quick. It was raining at the house when I left, but by the time I pulled in here, it was about to quit. So everything seems to be moving to the northeast, and right there is what we like to call God's country. That's a shot from Marion County back into Baxter County. What you're looking at there is the baseball field there at City of Cotter, Railroad Museum, Contractors Trust off to the right. If you look at about the 1 o'clock spot way off in the horizon, that is the Witch's Tower. That's the water tower, the old water tower of the City of Cotter. And every now and then you'll see a flash, and that's a radio tower that's even closer to Mountain Home. Mountain Home is actually off to your right, way off in the distance. Over to your left will be Bull Shoals. Straight ahead will be the state of Missouri, which is, I said yesterday, about 10 miles by Crowfly. It may be 12. I got to figure it up a little bit better last night. It may be 12, depending on what area you're looking at. Now all I got to do is try to pinpoint exactly what part of Missouri that is, and I'll be able to tell you that too. But the open field on the left-hand side there, that's the Woods Farm, and it's just a great part of the country. If you want to check it out, go to retiredarkansas.net, go to the tool icon. It'll bring you down for some live video shots. There's another set of cameras, or another camera that'll do this for you. It'll bring you to rotating shots throughout the day, and it's 15 seconds or so that
About 15
stay.
seconds, it'll switch to a different shot.
This just proves to you that this is not a still shot. This is a live shot. Look at that water rolling. Yesterday we had something floating down it. I'm not sure if it was ducks or trees, but
Well, I'll tell you, yesterday I drove over the river and it was as brown as it could be.
a lot of water being generated yesterday.
Yeah.
Had 3 generators on yesterday. I did not get the report this morning, so I don't know what they have on this morning, but retiredarkansas.net is where you can check those out if you're thinking about listing your home, or if you're thinking about buying a home in this area. Give Bob and Linda Zadora a call, the Z Team, 870-405-7093. Realtors you'd recommend to a friend. Let's take a look at the weather. Temperatures around the area: Mountain Home 64, Harrison 63, Batesville 72. Now that's a little bit different for this time of the morning. Yellville is 66, Marshall 64, Salem 63, Mountain View 64, Calico Rock 64, West Plains, Missouri is 63, Poplar Bluff is 63, and St. Louis is 63. And the radar. As I told you a little bit ago, the cell that was over us right now is supposed to be completely out of the area by 9 o'clock or so. It's all moving to the northeast. Some stuff hammering good old Seattle and Portland, Chicago, Detroit. We can let them have that up there. I think they've had a little bit of a shortage anyway. We're going to zoom in a little bit more here. Get a little closer to home. And why did it stop moving? Trying to catch up, I guess. There we go. A little bit of stuff over in Springdale that's going to dissipate before it gets to us. Like I say, about 9 o'clock in the morning, it'll be all out of the area. 10 o'clock at the latest. So if you're traveling the northern portion of Arkansas, you're in pretty good shape. If you're headed up into St. Louis, you're probably going to follow a storm for most of the morning. So that's how that works. Severe weather outlook into tonight. Kansas is going to get some pretty severe weather. St. Louis, Missouri, some down around Springfield, nothing in our area. Oklahoma City is pretty clear. Tulsa looks pretty good. Nebraska's got a little bit of something going on, and up in Iowa. High wind watch in Texas. Nothing in the state of Arkansas. And doesn't look too bad until you get out to the west. 7-day forecast. Chance of rain today, thunderstorms 30%. High today 88. Tonight mostly clear. Slight chance of storms 66. Tomorrow sunny and 88. Tomorrow night mostly clear. Low of 70. Friday, Scooter, did you see that? Friday?
Yeah, I'm
sunny and 87. Friday night 50% chance of thunderstorms.
And that needs to push back.
That does need to move.
That needs to push back.
We have graduation from Mountain Home on Friday night, and we need it to be a little bit clear, at least till 10. Saturday, 70% chance of rain, high of 76. Saturday night, 50% chance of rain, low of 49. And then Sunday, mostly sunny, high of 70. First part of next week, 20% chance of rain, showers and thunderstorms, high near 72. And then Tuesday, 40% chance of thunderstorms, high near 76.
It is springtime.
It'd be spring. Pollen, high today in tree pollen. Tonight, tomorrow, moderate, and Friday is moderate as well. Grass pollen is moderate today, very high tomorrow, and very high on Friday. No ragweed, centipods, and nettles yet.
Yet. They're coming.
They are coming. Lake levels for the fishermen. As of 5 o'clock this morning, it's 19.41 feet above normal pool, which is 552, so our lake level is 571.41. Bull Shoals is at 685.16, which is 26.16 above full pool of 659. When we take our break, we'll come back and I'll call them over the break real quick and see if I can get through this time. So that's the weather and all the updates. The dam report, don't take that, when I give you the generation report, don't take that as the gospel, because it's subject to change quite often. So that is the updates, brought to you by the Z Team, Bob and Linda Zadora, 870-405-0793, retiredtoarkansas.net, and they are realtors you would recommend to a friend. We'll be back in just a minute.
It's a matter of taste, and at Brick Oven Pizza Company in Mountain Home, delicious taste is all you will find. Enjoy signature crafted pizzas and appetizers, as well as oven-baked sandwiches, quesadillas, salads, pastas, and desserts. When it comes time to relax or meet up with friends, Brick Oven Pizza has you covered. Handmade cocktails and ice-cold beer are always available at their fully stocked bar. No time to dine in? No problem. Call in your order and use Brick Oven's convenient drive-thru window for all your to-go orders. It's a matter of taste at Brick Oven Pizza Company in Mountain Home.
I'm Henry Canfield.
Real quickly, the generation report is as follows. Bull Shoals is running 3 and Norfolk is running 0.
There you go.
That shot of the White River didn't look like they were generating 3.
No.
Compared to yesterday's generating 3. Water looked pretty clear.
Yeah.
Bad.
Usually the generation doesn't cause the muddy waters, the runoff that causes
The runoff?
Yeah.
Well, after this little storm that came through, we may get some runoff.
It may turn mucky again.
There is a road closure plan for tomorrow, Thursday. The Baxter County Road and Bridge Department is advising the community of a partial road closure for Thursday. Road work will be conducted on 201 South end of on the 201 South end of County Road 69, Thursday from 8 to 5:30. 69 will be closed for through traffic entering the 201 South but will be open to one-lane traffic on County Road 69 entering from the Highway 5 South side.
They have cones out there now. It looks like they've got a sinkhole part of the road that's dipping down, and they've coned it off. We got to go around it as of now, so they must be repairing that.
County Road 69 is Highway 5 South, where it kind of wise off. You go to the right by what Baker Truck there.
Yeah.
So, if you have any questions, give Baxter County Road and Bridge a call at 870-425-3695. They'll be glad to tell you what the status is of the road closure. With so much rain that we've had, I cannot believe that we haven't had more road damage than what we've had. I know I've suffered driveway damage. Have you?
Not driveway. My driveway's fine, but yeah, my driveway's fine. My gravel has the road, because all the rain that comes off my driveway hits that gravel road and just
eats it up.
Yeah.
Viola High School graduated 21 seniors last night. The valedictorian was Aubrey May, and the salutatorian was Presley Dillinger. Congratulations to the graduates of Viola. Like I said, Mountain Home graduation is Friday night. I believe it starts at 8 o'clock. The practice or the pregame, like I called it yesterday, is Friday morning at 9. So it is mandatory that you attend that. Please do. I want to make sure I announce your name right, and if you're not there to tell me on Friday morning, you're going to get what you're going to get. Just kind of how it works. So let's see here. There was one other thing I wanted to hit on real quick. A Mountain Home assistant football coach is headed to McCrory to become a Mountain Home football coach is headed to McCrory to be the head coach of the Jaguars. Brandon Godfrey has been hired as the new head coach at McCrory, and that's going to be an exciting opportunity for him. He's taking the place of Chris Keenan. who resigned to pursue something else to do. The McCrory Jaguars is a program that finished as state champions last year, so he's going to have some big shoes to fill. But we wish Coach Godfrey the best of luck. He is from Salem High School, and he's been with Mountain Home for the last 3 years. So he's been at Mountain Home for a year. Prior to that, he was the defensive coordinator at Magnet Cove. So best of luck to Coach Godfrey and his family as they move on to McCrory. 7:15, we're going to take a break. You're watching The Morning Show on XL7-TV. Be back in just a minute.
I'm Henry Canfield, your candidate for Baxter County Sheriff. I'm a veteran, a family man, with over 20 years of law enforcement experience. If you are ready for positive change in your community, I humbly ask for your support May 24th in the Republican primary.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detailed services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
At Connor Family Funeral Home, our goal is to provide our friends and neighbors with caring, compassionate services at an affordable price. Connor Family is a full-service funeral home that offers a wide range of services to meet your family's needs and customs. We are the first on-site crematory in the area and provide many options to memorialize your loved ones and address all the details for a more personalized service. Where compassion and affordability meet, Connor Family Funeral Home in Mountain Home.
Hello, I'm Shannon Felicia, and I'm talking to you, the Baxter County citizen. I'm a military man, a veteran, a family man with over 25 years military experience in civil engineering, and I'm asking for your vote on May the 24th in the Republican primary to elect me, Shannon Felicia, as your next Baxter County judge.
When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, it's our desire that you think about finding a way to live your life to the fullest while living with a serious illness. If you ever need help and support, we provide a team of healthcare professionals and volunteers that will support your physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects of life while doing the same for your family and caregivers in the comfort of your own home or wherever you call home. When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, we hope that you grant us permission to walk on the journey with you. Your not-for-profit option since 1979.
When you're out of town, make sure your pet is with someone who will love them as much as you do. At 201 Pet Salon and Resort, your pet is cared for just as they would be at home. 201 Pet Salon and Resort is the only all-suite climate-controlled and air-filtered boarding facility in the area with private and spacious rooms to keep your pet relaxed. And with over 3/4 of an acre of fenced play area, your pet will receive the proper exercise they deserve. 201 also offers professional grooming services. Your best friend is in good hands at 201 Pet Salon and Resort in Mountain Home.
Hello.
Welcome back to the Morning Show on XL7-TV. The guests today are Dan Hall, Arkansas Department of Disabled American Veterans, and Hollie Scoma.
Scoma.
That was close.
That's what I said. You just heard it wrong. District 3 Veteran Service Officer, how y'all doing today?
Okay.
Doing great. Busy.
Busy.
Always busy.
For a retired man, you're awful busy.
I work many more hours now than I did when I actually got paid to work. It tells you something.
But you wouldn't do anything else, would
I've tried retiring 4 times. It doesn't stick to me.
No?
So there's always something to be done. We've had a busy month and another one coming. On the 21st of April, we had our community partners meeting on this suicide prevention program that we're working in Mountain Home, and we had 30 people, including 5 guests that came in from VAs together with Veterans Grant Program, one from Washington State and the rest of them from Colorado, Western Interstate Commission on Higher Education is involved in coaching this thing. But we had a good meeting. May 2nd, of course, on the square, we had the Wreaths Across America, the big van with their museum, and they did honored Vietnam veterans 50 years after the fact. Next thing up is the 26th here in town. We have a meeting with our local coalition to discuss and help people get by and navigate the VA system. There's so many things that veterans run into. We've got one we worked on that he's in the VA system, he had an emergency, he goes to the emergency room, and the VA pays for the emergency room, but they don't pay the ambulance. It's like, wait a minute, he's supposed to hitchhike in an emergency? So we're always having to deal with those kind of issues. Another one that suddenly VA just decided you're going to have to pay co-pays because we haven't run a financial means test in a couple of years, and so you've got to go back and rework that kind of stuff.
So let's go back to this ambulance thing. It kind of has me intrigued a little bit. How does the veteran deal with that?
Well, it's difficult. When you're talking about people that are living on a VA disability or Social Security, an ambulance bill can be a month's pay.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so it's a big deal. But we've had to fight these issues, and that's what we do with disabled American veterans. Mainly, we're always lobbying and actually sometimes suing the government over these issues for a long time, up until 2018. A veteran could go over to the hospital, and if he happened to be of age where he had Social Security, and once the hospital billed Medicare, he got stuck with a bunch of bills because VA would say, we don't pay secondary claims.
Oh my gosh.
And we fought that in court for years and finally won that in April of 2018. So it's just one of those things that you're constantly involved with. VA is a huge bureaucracy, and it's unfortunate, like other government agencies, the people that actually provide the service don't have a whole lot to say about the policies. It's kind of like when Washington, D.C. sets the rules of engagement for combat in Vietnam. You ought to be closer to the operations if you're going to be making the policies. But that's what we deal with all the time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of good people at VA that are stuck in the middle. Providers that want to do better for the patient, but they have their technocrats in the middle that, and before you even get to that point, you have this other side of VA called eligibility, and that can take a couple of years before you find out if you're actually going to be eligible, and sometimes a couple of appeals. So
it's not automatic.
Oh no,
it's not go serve and be covered.
So
no. Well,
so if you go to an ER, you have to call or inform them within 72 hours so that they can start processing a bill. So if you don't do that within that timely manner, then they can bill it to you because they weren't notified properly, basically. So that's where veteran service officers and DAV and things like that come in, where if you go and talk to them after the fact, we can help you navigate that, give you the numbers to call. They have places where, like Dan said about copays, it gets pretty convoluted, and they deferred them for 2 years, but the term deferred in VA healthcare means something different than VA benefits. So so they deferred them for 2 years, and so we have a couple reports that veterans have been getting slapped with almost 2 years worth of copays at once. So they're having a hard time coming up with that money, or they get the letter and they're like, this is so much money, what do I do? And they're going to the VA and talking to them or getting mad at them, and that's not the way to go about it. If they come to us, we can help them get that sorted and maybe put them on a payment plan, or, oh, you already got service connected? We need to call these people to get these things taken off of it. So there's routes and means to it. It's just so hard for a veteran to navigate.
We talked about with the VA not paying copay. That was a matter of really having to figure out what VA's rules are or were at the time and trying to work with them. And if the hospital did not bill Social Security, but billed VA first, it wasn't a problem.
Right.
Okay, but it was so delayed to get their money, sometimes hospitals would just go ahead, if they saw this person had Medicare, they just bill Medicare. Well, once they did that, then VA considers, well, this is a secondary payment. It's just a bunch of technical stuff, and if you don't have...
Isn't the VA better off paying a secondary?
They would have been.
Be paying a lesser amount.
They would have been, but the problem is that they have these technical rules, and they have these technocrats who try to follow the rules, and they're the ones you got to get by to get paid. Mm-hmm. Actually, we fought that for years and finally won it in federal appeals court. And a lot of people got some back pay on that. And there's another one of those issues that comes up having to do with Part B on a person who is a veteran, okay, has a certain amount of VA care under certain circumstances, and so Social Security would kind of advise them that, well, you don't need Part B because you got VA. Mm-hmm. Bad idea. You need to buy Part B when you can afford it, because 5 years down the road, when suddenly something that you have to have taken care of isn't covered by VA because it's not service connected, well, the way it works is like a 10% penalty that accumulates annually, and so by the time 5 or 6 years goes by, they couldn't afford to buy Part B. And we get a lot of that kind of a problem. So we always recommend that even though you're in the VA system, when you get to Medicare, go ahead and get your Part B.
Yeah.
So there's so much technical rules involved that that's what we do, is try to keep the veterans from having these bills 2 years where the bills all of a sudden hit them. Another one of the issues that we run into, a veteran who's married, there's a certain amount of his disability benefits that are related to the dependent. He gets divorced, or that spouse dies. Within a reasonable period of time after that, he remarries. Well, you think that's a wash. No, it's not. Yeah. The person that you were getting the dependent benefit for passed away 2 years ago. That 2 years, they're going to take that money back.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you have to inform them when you have major life changes like that.
Dependency changes, you need to notify VA now. Yeah. And just because you got remarried, it's not a wash. It's a whole different. That's the kind of stuff we deal with.
Is the new spouse then able to be covered at all?
Yes.
They have to add them, but they can be covered. Yeah.
Wow.
But the fact that you didn't do the paperwork properly
or in a timely manner
could cost you a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's kind of like used to have that problem with Social Security when a spouse died and nobody was notified, and then Social Security keeps sending the check, and you know, Social Security pays a lot of dead people.
Yeah.
And then one day,
those are voters, though.
Yeah, one day it catches up, and all of a sudden they want all that money back. So it's good to keep after you. Stay in touch with your veteran service officer when you have any kind of change in your benefits. Your percentage of disability goes up or down. You have a dependency change. Make sure that you stay in touch with your county veteran service officers, and you don't get bit later.
Everything makes a difference.
Yeah.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Good or bad on either side of it. Every little change seems to make a difference.
I think our biggest message that we need to get across is that veterans need to be proactive rather than reactive. Because once you're reactive, then it's a lot of going back and making phone calls and trying to get dates right and things like that. So if you come in when you think that there's an issue and talk to us about it, we could give you the means of, hey, if this were to happen, here's where you would call. But right now you could call these places, and you don't need debt management right now because you're not in debt and things like that.
Being reactive a lot of times costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
So let's take a quick break. We'll be back. You're watching the morning show on XL7-TV. Be back in just a minute.
Hello, this is State Representative Jack Fortner. I know you've heard lots of misleading statements about me being a liberal and pro-choice. I assure you, I am neither. I have both the endorsement of the Arkansas Right to Life Council and Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who said, Representative Jack Fortner is a conservative Republican who has a consistent record of conservative values. Ask anybody that knows me what kind of a man I am. I ask for your vote, and I thank you for your support. Jack Fortner.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
Dept Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Dept grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
As a practicing attorney with 28 years of courtroom experience, it is important to me that we have honest, fair, and experienced judges. I'm Jody Carney, and as the next district judge for Baxter and Marion counties, I want to help keep our communities safe and provide professional and efficient administration of justice. Please allow me to provide this service by voting Jody Carney for district judge. Early voting begins May 9th and continues through Election Day on May 24th.
Overhead Door, a garage door company that has been with your family from the beginning, through all the ups and downs of life. From the small repairs to making your vision a reality. Overhead Door, your trusted garage door expert since 1921. Be sure you're getting the genuine, the original overhead door service.
Call Overhead Door Company of North Arkansas today in Mountain Home.
At Serendipity Bliss, we love turning your day into a once-in-a-lifetime memory by offering unique, beautiful, and specialized event and wedding rentals that can transform any atmosphere into something you will never forget. Whether it's your dream wedding, a golden anniversary, sweet 16 party, or a company event, we can make any event blissfully perfect. Serendipity Bliss carries unique specialty gifts and bridal jewelry and helps coordinate decor, table items, theme-related pieces, and more. Make your day blissfully perfect with Serendipity Bliss, located behind Car Care Mountain Home.
Hi.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. It's Veterans Day, and it's not really Veterans Day, but we're here talking to the veterans.
Every day is Veterans Day.
Every day is Veterans Day.
Yes, sir.
What else you guys got going on?
Well, the 26th of May, I'm going to be in Little Rock with a meeting with the Governor's Challenge, and that's again on this suicide prevention program. In Arkansas, to see 20 veterans make up about 19 or 20% of the population. Or no, they make up 9% of the population, but 18 to 20% of the suicides is the way it goes. They're double the suicide rate. And we've had, of course, this program here in Baxter County that we've had some real success with. Senator Bozeman had pretty much pushed that nationally and created some grant programs to where the VA could help to fund local programs at the local level instead of the top-down programs they had tried. And one of those is the Governor's Challenge to get to zero suicides in Arkansas. And they're basically using the same community-based approach that we've used here, so we've been very much involved in this program. We're going to have 3 pilot counties, Baxter, is of course the leading one now, but we're going to add Hot Springs County and Garland County and sort of repeat that. So that's an ongoing project. And then of course in early June we have our Disabled American Veterans Department of Arkansas Convention in Little Rock. And then in July 10th through the 12th, it's supposed to be in Colorado for the Together with Veterans Summit on Suicide Prevention. So we've got a lot of things going on.
You mentioned a number of 9% of the population of the state of Arkansas. Any idea what the population of Baxter County is for veterans?
Yeah, just a little over 5,000. But if you take the...
Which would be about 10% then?
Very close, yeah. Well, actually, there's about 41,000 people in Baxter County. There's about 5,500 veterans. When we look at the veteran population, where all these people are, what we did to start off with is looked at what does the census say our veterans count is, and it's a little over 5,000. Well, then you look at, okay, where are these veterans? And if you look at all the veteran service organizations, the Disabled American Veterans, VFW, American Legion, etc., and you add all those up, you come up with right around 1,000, and many of us are members of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's about less than 20% of the veterans are in the system anywhere. Where are the rest of them? Well, a lot of them came home, got their discharge, and compartmentalized that part of their lives and went on and became police officers, school teachers, firemen, whatever. And so part of our program was to locate these veterans, find out who they are, where they are, what is their circumstance, and they may in fact be eligible for all sorts of VA benefits they don't even know about, from education to, which is an interesting one. Now, in more recent years, if a veteran doesn't use his VA benefits, he can actually transfer them to a dependent.
Oh, really?
That's relatively new since the 9/11 GI Bill. So there's a lot of things like that that we try to stay in touch with veterans before they have a crisis and don't know what to do about it. And that's a big part of the process. And just what we're doing right here is making information available to where you don't have to go on the internet necessarily and be a nameless number dealing with a machine. You have somebody you can call. You got your county veteran service officer, and they can walk you through a lot of these things. You're not out there alone.
What is the most commonly used benefit of being a veteran? Healthcare or home loans, or do you have any idea, any way to tell?
Home loans is a big one.
So home loans is the most used, and then it would probably be benefits, because a lot of people don't have to be enrolled in healthcare. So you could be in healthcare or in benefits. You don't have to be in both.
There's a difference? What is the difference?
So benefits is where it pays out compensation to you. So where you got injured or hurt in the military, you get that service connected.
And that's considered a benefit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that's where most of our veterans come into veteran service officers to get their benefits claims started. And so we also do enrollments in healthcare and things like that and help them find out if they're eligible. But
and eligibility for educational benefits too. So, and
or
this is one
continuing at like college and trade school and
Yes.
something like that.
And that's one of the issues that we've come around. The way we've approached this is we work with the HR from county, city, most of the big employers, Baxter Regional, the school district. They know who their veterans are now because they've surveyed. And of course we do a lot with ASU, and they have a veterans career counselor over there that they deal with. So we've been able to pull this whole thing together, and we have a pretty good handle here on where the veterans are. And when we first started, like, the county was amazed to find that 30% of their workforce are veterans. Chief of police was amazed to find that 20% of his police officers are veterans. Wasn't a surprise to us because that's the way things are. Most of these people that are in public service now, first responders, law enforcement, whatever, have a military background. They just find another way to serve. Which brings me to the Memorial Day service on the 30th on the square at 11 o'clock. We normally do our Memorial Day service. This year it's going to be expanded, and they have a piece of the twin towers, a piece of steel that the fire department is making into a memorial piece that'll be there on the square in Veterans Square, honoring first responders. And it fits pretty well with veterans programs because most of those first responders are in fact veterans also.
Mm-hmm.
So the service will be your normal Memorial Day service, followed immediately by this 911 dedication. So,
who'd they get that piece of the Twin Towers from? Do you know?
it was a family that moved here from New York that was involved in the fire department. I would mess it up if I tried to say their name. But they managed to make a request, I believe, and got this piece of the towers. And
see if I can't get somebody on. We'll talk about that. Try to before Memorial Day. That'll be.
If you talk to your fire chief or the mayor, either one of them can tell you who's involved in that. That'll be a full day.
Yeah. Full day.
Yep.
What time does that start?
Starts at 11. I say full day, but that's for those of us who are involved in preparing and all that stuff. For people who attend, it'll be an hour roughly. But of course, immediately following that, we always have some ability to meet and greet and have cupcakes and coffee and what have you, probably at the VA.
VFW.
VFW, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things going on in the veterans world. What's happening on your side?
So on my side, our veteran service officers are having their second quarter training on June 7th in Stone County. So all of the 9 counties get together and we kind of have a small training to go over things that have changed or re-update things. There's a lot of programs that fall under the VA spectrum. So getting back into some of the nitty-gritty things that we don't see all the time, just so that our veteran service officers are prepared. So we have that coming up in Stone County on the 7th, so our offices should be closed. But we also have, I talked briefly before about the deferred decisions. So VA Benefits has been sending out a lot of deferred decisions. So, and we've been getting a lot of calls about that. So when VA Benefits makes a decision on your claim, they either are for it, they decide against it, so they decline it, or they defer it. So a deferred rating means that it's a partial rating for some of the things that you are applying for, and it's deferred pending additional evidence. So whether you have to go back to the doctor, you have to get more medical records, something. So
is it once declined, always declined, or is it brought back up at a later date?
So for most of the things in the VA, you can always argue.
with my, it's always appealed.
Yeah.
When you apply
always.
And it's denied, you appeal. And when they deny the appeal, you appeal it again.
Yeah.
There's always additional evidence and so on. It used to be you could almost, on a lot of things, you could almost assume that the first go around would be denied. And then when you appealed, you would be able to work it in there. So, and of course, back when I first got involved, my first filing, it took 5 years before they ever made a decision. And it was denied, and I appealed it. And so about 8 years later, I began to get the benefits that I was entitled to.
Will they go back to day one?
Back to the filing date.
So it depends on if you file properly, you have to keep the thing open. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
But if you go see your veteran service officer, we'll make sure we stay on top of it and help you. And it can go all the way back to the first day. We've had one of our county service officers, Josh Morrison in Independence County, he just had a staggering case that he won, and it was like $123,000 for the veteran. So going back a couple years and got him.
We've come a long ways now. What we've come up with is working through the VA and through all of the different lobbying and legislation, the fully developed claims that used to be you could file on a napkin and that set your date. Well, then they would ask for this and ask for that, and years later your claim would be looked at. We come up with this fully developed claim where you go to your county veteran service officer and they know exactly what you're going to need, what documents, and all that goes in, And I think they're down to 60 to 90 days, aren't they? Well, they were before the
pandemic. They were before COVID. So most claims are getting decided within about 162 days was the last thing that I saw on va.gov. So it's not terrible to wait 6 months, especially if you're filing for a lot of things. So the more things you file for, the longer it's going to be, because the more that they have to look into it.
7:45, let's take a quick break. Our guest today, Dan Hall, Arkansas Department of Disabled American Veterans, and Hollie Scoma,
there you go,
District 3 Veteran Service Officer. Be back in this moment. You're watching The Morning Show on XL7-TV.
Hi, I'm Kevin Liddy. I'm running for the office of Baxter County Judge. Over the last 28 years, I've served the citizens of Baxter County while working with the Mountain Home Police Department. I am passionate about the citizens and its employees, and I'd like to keep moving Baxter County forward. In the last few years, our county's infrastructure has greatly improved, and I would like to keep moving us forward. I'm Kevin Liddy. I ask for your vote in the Republican primary on May 24th.
Scrap Daddy's Metals is a full-service scrap recycling center accepting your scrap metals for recycling, paying you top dollar for all of your recyclable metals. They even buy cars and catalytic converters. Give them a call today at 870-424-6120 or visit them at 2821 Highway 5 North in Mountain Home. Close to Lake Norfolk and a short journey to Jordan County Line Liquor is your destination for all your refreshment needs. They offer the widest variety of all your wines, beers, and liquors with the cleanest atmosphere and the largest selection in the area. Not sure what to get? Ask Jordan County Line Liquor's friendly and knowledgeable staff for an expert recommendation you can't go wrong with. Also, don't forget about the Smoker's Den for all your smoking and accessory needs. That's Jordan County Line Liquor, close to Lake Norfolk, located on Highway 177 in Jordan, Arkansas.
My name is John Montgomery. 18 years ago, you hired me as your Baxter County Sheriff. My management team and I have worked hard to make the Sheriff's Office a premier law enforcement agency. I believe that transparency is the greatest form of public trust. As a result, my guiding principles of honesty, integrity, and professionalism have shaped the direction of our office. Working for the citizens of Baxter County has been the greatest privilege of my professional career. I have much more to do for you and the Sheriff's Office, and I respectfully ask for your vote on May 24th.
Hi, it's Bob Zadora, the Z-Team, Century 21 Lemac Realty, 1024 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. As you know, we are all facing some unusual times. Be calm. Be smart. The business world of real estate will continue. We may have some delays and some changes that are out of our control, but life will go on, and this too will pass. Give thanks for this wonderful country that we live in. Give thanks for the neighbors that we share. If there's anything we can do to give you a hand, give us a call. 870-405-0793. And check out our website, retiredtoarkansas.net.
It's a matter of taste.
Welcome back to the Morning Show on XL7-TV. We are talking to the veterans today. Not Veterans Day. We're talking to the veterans reps. How many people work in your office?
In mine?
Yeah.
Just me. So we have.
Okay.
So we have. I work for the state. So there's 9 separate departments or districts, if you will. Okay. And so we've kind of whittled some of those down. So I think we have 7 total district service officers all throughout the state. So, but yeah, it's just me in my office.
Where is your office?
My office is located at the Mountain Home, Arkansas State University.
Oh, at ASU.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Dan, where's your office?
That was really an interesting question. My office is at my house.
I was going to say, is that Ford pickup? Is that your
Yeah,
office?
basically, we don't spend a lot of money on bricks and mortar and insurance and that kind of stuff. Disabled American Veterans is volunteers that are about helping veterans. I don't need to have a building and an office. We don't run a bar. We don't play bingo. We help veterans. And if you're spending more money on bricks and mortar than you are helping veterans, you're in the wrong business. We meet at the Mountain Home Police Department using their community room every third Monday at 2:30 in the afternoon. So we don't really need to. And if I need another place to hold a meeting, we've got several churches that will welcome us in to use their facilities, ASU. But it's kind of interesting that you mentioned, how many is on your staff. Hollie and I were both involved, I think it was on the 29th of April, in a training having to do with this new grant program to do what we've been doing here in Baxter County at the community level without staff, just what we put together working through our community and through Baxter Regional. And so they came up with this as a result of the work that Senator Bozeman did, creating a bill that part of that bill created the Staff Sergeant Roger Fox grants for rural suicide prevention programs. So we've been waiting for over a year for them to finally roll out or promulgate the regulations, if you will, of how this grant program is going to work. And so Hollie and I and Dr. Wolfer all were sitting in on this Zoom training. They had 8 presenters for the different parts of this thing, this monstrosity that they created. And we're sitting there shaking our heads, and all these people are PhDs with staffs that are doing the presentation on their little part of it. And when it's all done, I said, there is not a 501c3 in Baxter County, Arkansas that could possibly, in 40 days, put together a grant that followed all this nonsense. But that's typical bureaucracy. I don't have a staff. I do this thing. She doesn't have staff. She does what she does, And they were talking about, they figured it would take about 35 hours to put this together. Yes, if you have a staff that is totally familiar with your program and has all of the documents, all the MOUs and all that stuff sitting in front of them.
If you already had most of it done, and then all these other acronyms that they kept throwing out there.
It was amazing. So it ended up that we're going to try through the governor's challenge to put something together at the state level and then filter that to the local programs like Baxter County and Garland and so on. So,
how long will that take?
Well, they have a June 10th
deadline
for submission, and if you submit it after midnight on that date, it's not even going to be looked at. And that was the whole deal. We were 40 days out, and they come up with this, and it's like, you got to be kidding me. You would need a huge staff to put this together in 3 or 4 months, You're not going to do it in 40 days.
What would the grant be used for?
The expenses, the same kind of things that we're doing. We're out there going door to out in the community, out in the boondocks, finding these isolated veterans. So you have mileage, and Dr. Walford is big on one of these at-risk veterans. Call them up and, hey, why don't you come have coffee with me? And so on, just get them out and so on. So there's that kind of reimbursed expenses mainly, but there's not salaries. If you're traveling, there's per diem, those kind of expenses. That's what it's designed to cover. But what is available on the first go-around is like $750,000 for a statewide program.
Yeah.
And so if you divide that out among some counties, it can do some good.
How many counties in Arkansas?
75.
So $10,000 a county?
Well, a lot of the counties wouldn't really be involved. Some of the counties, Perry County and some of them down there, are very rural that don't really have a suicide problem. And that's why Baxter County had the highest suicide rate in the state.
So it'd be a needs-based?
It'd be a needs-based, and you'd have to have some program through which to administer it. Many of your counties don't even have a full-time county veteran service officer. They work 2 or 3 days a week.
Part-time.
They're part-time, and Arkansas Department of Veterans Affairs, who she works for, reimburses the county for parts of that salary, but that county veteran service officer actually works for the county judge. So if you're out there thinking about, I don't know who my county's veteran service officer is, call your county judge's office. They can give you their number because that's who they work for.
Who is Baxter County?
Baxter County is Charlie Leonard.
Yep.
And his office is where the old Mountain Home Police Department was, above 911.
Yeah.
He's in that little strip right there.
Right off of 9th Street.
And yours is at ASU?
Yeah. So I'm not there often. I try and go every Thursday to be there, and that's when I normally see clients. But normally I'm out traveling or going to the other counties to help my veteran service officers, because that's what I'm there for, is to help them with education or liaise with them, and if they have issues or problems, that's where I come in. So.
And I know we talked about this last month, but how big is District 3 for you to have to cover?
So it's 9 counties. So
Harrison to Batesville, basically.
Yeah, basically, and then Heber Springs is kind of.
Cleburne is in that too.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's quite a wide little stretch, but they're all very talented. They all know what they're doing. They're very well educated. They've been doing these things for a while, a lot of them. So.
How long have you been doing this?
So I've been doing it for 3.5 years, almost 4. So as soon as I got out of the military, I kind of stepped into it. So.
What branch?
I was Air Force.
Air Force. She puts a big smile on her face when she says
does.
that. Air Force.
Actually, she's the second person to hold this position. When we first created this, used to be there was one district office down at Fort Roots, which was confused as a stepchild of the VA. They're not VA, they're a state agency. And when ASA appointed Director Sneed, he created a strategic plan and worked with veteran service organizations and created 9 district offices out here in the community where the veterans live.
Right.
If you remember, Alicia Granis was the first one that we hired for that position. She kind of set the bar, and when she moved on, Hollie came in and right behind her. It's been a huge success in that there's a real standardization for the quality of veteran service care in all of the counties because of she talked about the quarterly training and what have you, and then they of course invite the service officers from each of the VFWs and so on. They can also attend, so everybody's on the same page. And we've talked about how complicated it can be. In your district, you actually are dealing with 4 different VAs, aren't you? You've got the Fayetteville for Boone County.
Right.
Here in Baxter County, you've got the Central Arkansas Veterans Health Care. In Salem area, Fulton County, they go to Poplar Bluff. And down in Batesville, they go to Memphis or West Bend.
They go to Little Rock too.
Okay.
So I deal with 5. So it's literally a lot of VA.
And they're all a little different.
Yeah. So it's a lot of education, and like I said, I even help with hiring. So I sit on the boards with the judges. We talk often. Like if somebody's leaving, I go down there, I do the training, I make sure that they're qualified to even be a veteran service officer, because you have to have served in order to be one, to be a veteran, to help veterans. And we go from there. So it's a lot of little things throughout.
And you have to be plenty flexible.
Yeah.
No doubt.
It's not an 8 to 4 job. If you're not committed to the service, you're not going to do well.
Yeah.
It's not if the plans are going to change, it's when the plans are going to change.
Always.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been on my way to a county and been diverted because a veteran needs help. And I'm like, hey, I'm on my way, but I'll be there in a few. Literally, we'll do like Dan sometimes, pull out my computer in the car on the side of the road and get to work and start
Well, I
helping.
just thought I was headed that direction, and now I'm going somewhere else. So I'll see you tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah.
Blessed are the flexible, for they don't get bent out of shape. That's the motto.
Right. But it's such a fun job. It really is. I know we have so many people that are passionate about helping veterans, and that's what makes my job a joy, is because I know that the people around me, that's all that they want to do.
When you take a catastrophe, such as a benefit, like you were saying for the gentleman or lady that got the 123, and get that for them, what a reward.
Yeah.
What an award.
Absolutely.
That's
Just
life-changing money.
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's just totally awesome.
Well,
You guys have a job that is incredible.
Yeah.
And you're doing it for the people that have done incredible things for our country, and we really appreciate that. And we thank you for joining us again this month, and look forward to visiting with you again. Hope to see you at the memorial service on Monday the 30th. Thanks for joining us. This is XL7-TV, the morning show. We'll see you tomorrow.